And I am Tommy Scoville. You are on the lifeboat. And if I'm not mistaken, you should have a 5x5 by now. Yeah, how about that? We got us a little sound. Hey, you know what, people? You take a couple of freaking days off. Barbara Aldrich, good to see you. Krista Melinda, what's happening? Cindy G, Sandy Wendy. Chase the Eats here. Krista Melinda, you're a beast. Thank you for everything you do. The Aldrich sisters are always great to have. Tommy Bird, good to see you. Just Joan, what's happening? I'll tell you what, people. This one is also probably not going to take a whole lot of time. Alicia, how are you? Lisa Trimble. Good to see you, Lisa. Glad you're here. Cammy Gone, how are you? Glad that you're here. Lacey Silver, how are you? Vegas vibes, as in Vegas nerves vibes. I love that. What happens in Vegas, unfortunately, stays forever, doesn't it? Handmade Hazard, good to see you. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. All right, people. This isn't going to be a normal. There's the other Aldrich. This isn't going to be a normal lifeboat. Thank you for all your support, Jane Aldrich. I really appreciate you. I really do. I want everybody to listen up so we can take you up to speed a little bit. Annabelle Black Boots, good to see you. Funny thing happened to me a couple of weeks ago. Probably not funny, haha. I had a pretty rough week in the eyes of this universe that we hang out in here. About 3,500 or something defectees, I think, from the lifeboat, who are sadly going to believe, whatever they believe about me. Unicorn Love, good to see you. There's an amazing amount of pressure that comes with doing this job, whether you believe it or not. And the pressure isn't, obviously, what I do is unique from other content creators as well, but just YouTube in general I'm talking about, not the lifeboat. There's a pressure to have to continue to make content that people are going to click on. And that doesn't always necessarily mean doing exactly what you want. It means doing exactly what you think is going to get enough clicks to pay enough money to keep you on the platform, because you got to make a living, right? You got to be able to pay for it. And it can be a hard medium, right? Unless of course you don't give a crap, right? Like the haters, right? They don't, they've been hating on us for 4 years. They've never been able to get something monetized or move a couple inches forward, but they can say anything they want on God's green earth because they're not monetized. They don't care. And you know what's incredible, people? I find myself in the same position. I have no desire to start hating on people and throwing stuff out, but I don't need this to make money for me anymore, which is a pretty unusual feeling. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of gave you guys a bit of an idea of some of the things that were going on concerning the lifeboat. As it turns out, Tommy Scoville ran the longest con in the history of long cons. Honestly, this one's going to go down in the annals as far as con men go. Funniest part is I had no idea I was even in on it. Somebody left a really beautiful super chat the other day. By the way, don't super chat. Hold off on it for a minute. But somebody left a beautiful super chat the other day that said, I've been lurking a long time, but I remember watching you agonize in pain over people that couldn't stay sober or staying up late and taking phone calls from people. The haters probably don't highlight that stuff. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You know the best thing that can happen to a human being who's about to win the lottery? Huh? A really great dose of finding out who your friends are. That's a beautiful thing to happen right before your ship comes in. I'm astounded at what they have valued what we've done here at. And I promise you wouldn't believe me. I promise you wouldn't believe me anyway. But we're going to continue to do content here, but I'm going to do exactly what I want. And that means that I'm not going to say Bolivian matching powder anymore. We're going to talk about cocaine. If I'm talking about that black stuff, it's heroin. China is the country that's making the stuff. It's coming from China, right? They're sending it from China to Mexico across the border. See, I don't care anymore. They're going to demonetize this video right now, and I don't care. I can say those things. I can say the word rape too. They're going to demonetize the video, but I don't care anymore. That's a beautiful thing. I can't tell you. The yoke, that is getting lifted off of your friggin' back. Right? Yeah, I checked all the haters. I like knowing all sides myself, but none of them passed the smell test. Tommy did, so here I am. Well, thank you. And you know what? I don't mind if anybody watches anybody else involved. I'll be really honest with you. This is a tough way to make a living. And I feel bad for people that have to. This has been hard. And there have been times I have compromised things that I put up content that I didn't want to do because I knew it was going to bring in people. In fact, I did a decent amount of content I didn't want to do because I thought it was going to bring in people. Now I don't give a shit if anybody else ever shows up. We got a good crew of people here, right? And the people who are here got through the crucible. I mean, you've heard everything a person can say. Appreciate you sticking around. But we're going to talk a little different around here. And you know what? If new folks come in and toss up super chats, fantastic. I'm sure we can find something to do with the money. If you're a local, if you've been hanging around, don't super chat me anymore. Straight up. I appreciate it. You know, if you want to keep membership so you can put up cool emojis and do stuff like that, I think that's awesome, right? We'll find something cool to do with it. But I have found myself in a position that I didn't think I was ever going to be in. And I wanted to take a lot of people on this journey because there's going to be some really exciting crap that is going to be happening. And, you know, things that I just never imagined. Hey, Biz, 20 months. God, it's been that long, Bizzle. Hey, Bizzle, I saw some technology over the last couple of weeks, people. I saw some things you would not believe. I watched a man using the computer that did not have a keyboard of any kind. He just sat and talked to this thing. And it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Where we're going in technology, what they're capable of doing already. I also had an opportunity to sit with Johnny Scoville, and he and I had a chance to have a conversation with I don't know if I'm supposed to say the name of this thing because I think it may be trademarked and you might be seeing it pop up anyway, but it's a picture like Max Headroom, but way, way more modern. It's so human-like that the only reason you wouldn't know it's a human is because they want you to know that it's not a human. They've altered it just slightly so there's a Max Headroom kind of feel to it. But these things can have conversations. These things, the day is coming. The day is coming where somebody that is hurting really badly from abuse or from someone that needs someone there can have someone there around the clock 24 hours a day who never has a bad day, who never doesn't know the answer to a question. And for the first time ever, will understand empathy and sympathy. A computer will never be capable, in theory, of that. But it will sure as hell make you think it is. The possibilities that this is going to open up, and I'm not going to have jack to do with it. We sold out, is what we did. On the bright side, we don't have to take any of our content down. We don't have to change anything. The only thing that we're really going to be changing going forward is I'm saying the word cocaine, I'm saying the word heroin, I'm saying the word rape, I'm saying the word assault. I am never going to hold back my speech again. And if I think that the stuff that I'm saying is probably going to be angering the powers that be, let them have at it. Let them put that little yellow thing next to the dollar symbol on my crap, right? Because I'm Krista Mullen passed out with everything I just said. Yeah, the probably weird to hear those words, but we're gonna say all of them. We're gonna say all of them, right? I might talk about Pizzagate. I don't care. Bury the thing. Honestly, I'm doing it for the crowd that's watching at this point. Right? We've made some friends, and I'm not going to abandon them. And I'm going to the Diddy trial. Now, when I talked about doing this, people, I said, if I got to get a Ryder truck and put a mattress in the back of this stuff, right? Whatever I got to do, we're going to do the Diddy trial. There isn't going to be a mattress in the back of a truck, but we are going to be doing the Diddy trial. Off of morphine and on to tramadol. Feeling good. That is a good trade. Morphine for tramadol is a good trade. That is stepping down, right? Are you trading one drug for another? You are. That is a much better drug. As far as what your chances of doing well and getting off of it, tramadol is a way better option than morphine. The morphine molecule in itself is a really, really tough substance on the body when it comes to, not tough as in its beats on you. It's one of the easiest in terms of what it does to the body, but getting off of it, and that's tough. Don't forget to keep your phone on silent while in court. You know what got me? It wasn't my phone that was on. So during the Masterson sentencing, I was trying to get my phone out of the bag that it was in. They had them in these bags so that you couldn't take it out and take pictures. And it's got like the kind of anti-theft devices they put on shirts where that's got that big thing on it. It's like that device that locks the thing. So it's like a hard pin. And I was wondering if you pull on this thing hard enough, would it open? And I honestly wasn't trying to open it. I was just trying to, and I gave it a pull, and the noise that it made sounded like you took two baseball bats and smacked them against each other. And it was like silent at the time. And everybody, in the courtroom was looking around, and oh, it's terrible. On the bright side, I didn't get in any trouble. I didn't try to film anything inside. I just, it gave me a jump on everybody. I could run outside and start filming instantly. But free speech, that is solid. Is it not? I am really looking forward to free speech. And you know something else? I'm sorry, but one of the things about this sport is, if this is how you pay your bills, you really got to go out of your way to not offend anybody. And I'm not telling you that I now want to offend people left and right, because that's not who I am. It isn't at all. But there have been many times that I have not spoken my mind, because people are going to walk off if I say this, or people are going to, hey, if I'm not your flavor, right? If I'm not your cup of tea, I get it. I really do. I get it. And you know what? Watch all the content of all the creators that make you happy. You may be shocked by this, but there's been a bunch of people that have reached out and said things like, hey, so-and-so is in so-and-so's chat. People, I want to tell you something. God bless you. Because I know that this comes from a place of love, and what you're saying is this person can't possibly love that person and still love you, and I don't believe that's true. And if they're over in that chat saying, you're right, Tommy's a piece of shit, and then coming over here, I don't care. I don't know how to tell you that. I don't care. They're getting something over there, wherever over there is, and they're getting something here. And if what they're getting here isn't disrupting the other people here, then I don't care. You hear me? I don't care. I would have had to have cared a while ago. What's amazing is, there are things I'm never going to talk about. You guys know this. But I will tell you this. I had no clue that video was coming. The one that hit me like a ton of bricks. Right? I didn't know it was coming. But holy God, thank God it did. Thank God it did. I'd be living a very, very different world right now. And I might be making some mistakes right now at levels that you can't imagine. Because, not for nothing, but I've made some bad decisions in the past. And bad decisions aren't always a good thing when you win the lottery. Swim on opioids and benzos, muscle relaxer. Which would you recommend backing off first? I would recommend, Alicia, talking to a doctor. By the way, if you people do not know what swim is, right? That's someone who is not me. Got it? So we're always looking and asking this on behalf of somebody else, right? They're not asking, and this happens a lot when people talk openly. So here's what I'll tell you. As far as opiates, benzos, and muscle relaxers, for me personally, and I'm not a doctor, right? But you need to talk to a doctor before you quit these, because the benzos are what scare me the most. Because when you begin to talk about backing off on benzos, we're into an area where this can take you off of planet Earth, right? We know that if you come off of benzos too fast, you will have seizures and it will kill you. This is a very real thing. So it's something you got to talk to a doctor before you start backing off on those. However, depending on where the people are getting the opiate supply on the street right now is so terrifying that I think concentrating on getting that out of your life, or getting into trading that for something else, Subutex, Sublocade, Suboxone, getting off even methadone, a great trade for anything that's on the street. If you're addicted to opioids and this is not something that is feasible for you to get off instantly, then you need to get onto a safe supply, right? Now, if you're capable of swapping that out for something other than, right, because there are people who are. There's a lot of people that after I did my show on the THCA flower, the number of people who have reached out and said, I smoke pot every day, I traded cocaine for it. I smoke pot every day, I traded heroin for it. I smoke pot every day, I traded whatever for it. That's a great trade. It's a great trade. Sorry, you don't like me for that? Leave me a hateful comment. I won't read it. It can be done. My wife and I both did it. Me off of Valium and my wife off of Klonopin. And I'll tell you something, people. Klonopin or clonazepam, that is a rugged benzo to get off of. And Tommy Bird is speaking from knowledge. It can be done. It absolutely can. It just has to be done responsibly. And the best way to do that is to talk to a medical professional. Very often, oh, no. Thank you, MJ. MJ says, sorry to report George Foreman has passed. My brother Johnny Scoville and I had an opportunity to meet George Foreman when we were doing a deal that we did years ago. He was a gentleman. He really was. He was a gentleman. Let's see here. Tommy, ever read any Ingersoll Lockwood, particularly Baron Trump's Underground Adventure? Written in the 1800s, and the Library of Congress has the original. You're telling me something that I know absolutely nothing about. I can't tell you how I love when things like that happen. So there is a book in the Library of Congress that was written in the 1800s called Baron Trump's Underground Adventure. Well, now I've got to, right? I mean, just the Alice in Wonderland correlation and the reference. Now you got me. Now I'm damn hooked. Now I'm going to have to go and get this and look into it. I knew nothing about this, nothing. But now I'm fascinated, and I know this is going to look silly, people, but this has worked for me so much better than taking notes or anything else has of late. Just taking screenshots of the stuff that I want to remember and then shrinking the puppy down, because then when I look at it, all of a sudden it makes sense to me. I'm like, oh, I remember that. But I will look into that because that sounds fascinating. So yeah, we're still going to be doing the Diddy trial. I am of the firm belief that I still have a decent amount that I can bring to the party. I purchased that book to read it. It is one that says that Barron is the president or something like that. The bee lady is weighing in. See, I'm fascinated. This is absolutely something I am going to have to be chasing down. And you know what? Shout out to everybody here. And for those of you who are afraid to say hello, I'm glad you're here anyway. I get it too. A day is going to come where the camps, right, aren't so paranoid and aren't so twisted up in their heads about this stuff. The world's got an unusual way of fixing itself. But I'm going to make you a promise. We are going to continue to do fun stuff here on the Lifeboat. Will I be putting up recycled stuff during the day? I will. I have a lot I got to do, right? I got to buy a house, right? I got. Today I was tying up loose ends, and I was able to do some things today that it's the start of tying up loose ends. Have you ever seen the show My Name Is Earl? Huh? This may come as a shock to you, but everybody really does have a My Name Is Earl list. And I got people on it. Oddly enough, they're not the people that you probably think. In fact, I doubt you know any of them. But I did want to come on. We're going out tonight. We're doing a little celebratory dinner. We're taking basically every single person that we know out to dinner tonight. We're doing a good one. You know what? Timothy Glass says we all have stains on our past. We do. And for those of you who asked about the book, here's the story on the book. For a guy that was running a con, I was dumb enough to allow my brother to write into that book that person was very much a part of my life. That book is not going to get released in that form. And now it would really be a sin to release that book, because the final chapter of that book got real different, real quick. So we're probably going to put that together and sell it with the. We are home briefly. I'm not exactly sure how long that I am going to be here because we're well. There's a lot going on. We got a lot of stuff that we're. Hey, can we get some thoughts and prayers for Brandon Galloway? Says it hasn't been a good day. You know what? We all have those. I can tell by Johnny Scoville pacing around that he's probably trying to get me to rally because we're all going to start jumping in some cars here. People, we're going to have a lot more fun on this lifeboat. And as I said before, my trust took a hit, right? And I know that people are going to think that's funny because there are people out there going, yeah, well, we can't trust you, you con man. By the way, if I can get that on a license plate, I swear to God, you're going to see it.
I got it first.
The irony of this is so funny. It's not a story you're ever going to hear me tell. I'll make you a promise. There's not. There is nobody walking around on planet Earth right now, right? Of the fairer species that has to worry about me, or my brother, or my son, or anybody else raised in my family. Got to think about that. Whether anyone wants to believe that or not. We're gonna have a lot of fun going forward on this channel. I promise you. But we're done pulling punches, and we're done saying Bolivian marching powder. We're done calling it black. We're done being ambiguous about the names of these substances. They're called cocaine and heroin, right? The country that makes it is China. They're also being made in India. We're not going to call it the beast from the east. We're not playing any of these stupid freaking games anymore. Simply put, we don't have to. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the support. I hope to see you guys back. Tomorrow night, I will be back doing a full-on show. Hell, maybe we'll do a couple hours. Maybe we'll do some Q&A. I know a lot of people would really like me to explain exactly how this windfall happened. What I will tell you is that it got bought by the minute. There was a dollar amount equated to the minutes. They did the math, and we put a deal together that was more than anything I ever could have hoped for. And that's the truth. It is a blessing beyond measure. And you know what? It's going to enable me to leave the earth a better place than I found it. It's going to enable me to help people without having to ever put their business out into the world again, because the world is full of so much hate that simply knowing me these days is enough to get you canceled. Right? So we're going to have some yits and giggles on this channel, and I hope that the faithful comes back for it. Means the world to me that all of you are here. I'm going to take you on a journey in the next 2 or 3 years that's going to blow your mind. I'm not joking, because I'm going to have a hell of a lot of fun. And I'm going to take you guys for all of it. Yeah, absolutely seriously. This is, when I say we won the lottery, we did. If you've been watching the show for a long time, I've talked about this. We talked about the people that wanted to purchase it, but that is where we have been. It is done. It is nifty. Nifty is probably about the best way that we could put it. It's going well. And it can't get any smaller, but it has the potential to get a little bit bigger. So we're overjoyed. But more importantly, neither of us have a whole lot of pressure on us. I know my brother's probably going to be cranking out cat videos because that cat's the coolest thing in the world, and it makes him happy. But I'd be really shocked if you see him burn himself anymore. I don't think you'll see me let him. Between now and the next time I see you, have some giggles. Do a little harm reduction. I'm coming back, people. I'll see you tomorrow night. And you know what? We're going to talk about stuff like cocaine, heroin, China, right? Assaults, rapes. We're not playing any of that stupid word game BS anymore around here. Huh? We'll see you tomorrow night. Gloves are off, so's the pressure. Thank you for being the crew of the lifeboat. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow night. Between now and then, do a little harm reduction, all right? Bye-bye. You guys ready to go out?